Yes, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome you back to the Training Sports TV. Just from London or from England, English fans have said that time for excuses is over. That is for their coach, that is Southgate, that it's time for him to deliver at least an international tournament or an international trophy, that is to the Three Lions or to the England national team, after almost staying there for 6 years on the national team as the head coach. Ever since he took off, that was around 2018, when he took this team that was to the World Cup, until now, the English national team hasn't gotten any major international trophy apart from that triumph that they had. That was way back in 1966 when England managed to win. That was the World Cup under the stewardship of Sir Bobby Charlton and some several other players who are now late people who died off away from our set, including the late, that is Sir Bobby Charlton, whom we just buried some couple of months ago. So the English national team or the English fans are saying that now is England has the best players that is in the entire world, so they can compete with any opponent when it comes to football. That's why now they are saying that they need an international trophy that is away from the coach, that is Southgate. I remember in 2018 in the World Cup that was held, that was in Russia, this Southgate managed to take the English national team, that is to the semi-finals of the World Cup, when they were beaten, that is in the semi-finals of the World Cup, and they finished that tournament, that is in third position, after even losing out, that was to Belgium, who ended up being the third or took bronze, that is in that competition. Recently, that is in the 2020, recently in the 2022 World Cup, still things did not move on very well. However, statistically, amongst all the coaches that they have had ever since 1966, currently Southgate has the best statistics, the most wins by any English coach that has ever taken off, that is on the national team. But the fans of that is English football, or the fans of the national team, say that time for the excuses is now over. It is time for him to deliver a trophy, that is to the national team. Around 2020, during the COVID time in the Euro Championship that were held, that is in Italy, I remember very well, England managed to progress up to the final, where they were beaten, that is by Italy, where we had the slogan, it is coming home or it is going wrong. However, it ended up going vice versa when it went wrong. But in 90 minutes, England had drawn, that was 1-1. In halftime, that was Luke Shaw had taken the lead, that is for England. However, Italy kept on pressing until they got an equalizer to make it, that was 1-1, which sent the game, that is to extra time, where Italy eventually emerged victorious, winning in penalties, where we saw a couple of players being saved the penalties, the likes of Bukayo Saka, the likes of Jordan Sancho, the likes of Marcus Rashford, and on the side of that is Italy, they managed to score their penalties. Apart from that save that was saved by, that is by Jordan Pickford, of the UEFA Player of the Year, that was Jorginho, that Jordan Pickford managed to save his penalty. However, the rest had entered, giving opportunity, that is Italy, to win, that is the trophy. So ever since then, things have been moving on very well. That is England has risen like in FIFA rankings. They can play against big teams, and they can even manage games. Most of the times, England keeps on even placing, having the best position over the other teams. That means that the time for the excuses, as it states, is now done. The national Southgate has to deliver a trophy, that is to the English fans or to the fans of the Three Lions. Remember, just 3 months away from now, we will be heading, that is to the Euros, that will be held, that is in Berlin, 2024, that is in Germany, where England will be opening up, that is in their group, up against, that is Serbia, where I gave most of my followers, either on TV and even on my different socials, to go in, that is for a win up against England. Recently, In the last 1 week during the international break, England has had 2 games played, that is friendly games. They had 1 game played at Wembley Stadium when they hosted, that is Brazil, at the 5 times World Championship, or who have won the trophy, that is 5 times. And the game ended up in favor of Brazil, winning 1-0, courtesy of Annie Hendrick goal that came, that is in the late minutes, after being slotted to him, that is by Vinicius Junior. England looked the better side in most of the entire 90 minutes. However, it lacked the cutting edge, given the fact that it had the absence of other superstars, the likes of Harry Kane, who has been sidelined because of an injury, the likes of Harry Maguire had some issues, and even several other players were not very competent on that game. And the flank or the forward line was led, that is by Aston Villa star man, that is Ollie Watkins, who was not very impressive in that game. However, we hope maybe they can bounce back to winning ways. The reason why the English fans are saying that time for excuses is done, it is time for the English coach, that is Southgate, to deliver a trophy, because they have the most talented players that is on planet Earth as per the standings now, a rating from defense, midfield, and even on striking. In goal, they have Jordan Pickford, may not be playing, that is in a very competitive team, that is like Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U, Manchester City, or others, but talent-wise is one of the gifted goalkeepers that we have, that is in the Barclays Premier League. In defense, England has a catalogue of players where you can select the likes of Ben Chilwell, the likes of Cole Walker, the likes of, that is John Stones, the likes of, that is the likes of Benny White, the likes of, that is Alexander Trent-Arnold, the likes of Richard James, the likes of Gomez. All of those are multiple players that England can seek selection in, the likes of, that is Lewis Dunk, that is from Brighton and Hove. That's why the English fans are saying that time for excuses is done. You should deliver a trophy. In the midfield, they have sensational midfielder, that is Jude Bellingham, the man who is just scoring for fun, Phil Foden from Manchester City, Bukayo Saka. They have the likes of Cole Palmer, they have the likes of Raheem Sterling, they have the likes of Anthony Gordon, they have the likes of Kobe Maino, they have the likes of Declan Rice. Everything in all the departments, they having massive players. Up front, they have Ollie Watkins, they have the likes of that is Harry Kane himself. They have the likes of Jarrod Bowen, the likes of Calvin Lewins, that is from Everton. So all in all, this English national team, it is time for them to deliver a trophy, or if anything, they will end up being said or being talked about that the team that was always nearer to triumph but failing, that is to win, if at all they fail to win this trophy. And I hope, if at all in this competition that will be coming, that is in 2024, that is the Euro Championship, Southgate, that is fails to qualify above the quarterfinals or even the semi-finals, it could be the end of his tenure, that is at the English national team, where he has spent almost 6 months, because he has the majority of the best players that the world has ever had. And even in comparison to other teams that is competing with, they no longer have the talents like how England was competing earlier on during the times of France, with the likes of Thierry Henry, and the likes of Zinedine Zidane, the likes of Frank Ribéry, the likes of Trezeguet. From Netherlands we had the likes of Van Persie, the likes of Rudy Van Nistelrooy, and others. And even in Germany, the likes of, that is Ballack, and the likes of Gomez, and even others. So as per now, in comparison, English team, or the national team of England, looks to be having the best players. So the time for excuses, as stated before at the start of this video, is now done. So the English national team, or the coach, should make sure that he selects the best players, so that it is time for England to win. That is another championship to add on that one that they had, that was in 1966. Till then, I'm with Exxon.